Day 12 of 30. Go right. Consensus feels safe because everyone is moving together. That does not mean they are moving in the right direction. 30 days for the rest of your life. Day 12. Consensus is like gravity. It pulls quietly, constantly, almost invisibly. Most people never notice how much of their life is shaped by it. What job should I take? What should success look like? What should I believe? What should I buy? What should I tolerate? What should I fear? What should I want? The crowd answers first, and if you are not careful, you spend your entire life living someone else's consensus. That is the matrix. Not because consensus is always wrong, because unexamined consensus is dangerous. Sometimes the right move is exactly the opposite. When they all go left, go right. Markets teach this first. Markets are brutal teachers. When everyone is euphoric, risk is usually being ignored. When everyone is terrified, opportunity often gets mispriced. Buy when others sell. Sell when others buy. Simple to say, hard to do. Because the hardest part of contrarian thinking is not understanding the logic. It is tolerating the feeling. Being right early often feels exactly like being wrong. That is why conviction matters, not blind stubbornness. Conviction built on due diligence. Study the asset. Understand the fundamentals. Know what gives it value. Verify the thesis. Then the crowd panics, and you do not. That alone puts you ahead of most traders. Not because you are smarter, because you are less reactive. Stop chasing new and shiny. People love novelty. New ticker, new coin, new technology, new guru, new strategy, new opportunity, new relationship, new answer. Anything new feels like possibility. But sometimes the thing you already have is the thing compounding. Trusted blue chips do not scream for attention. They just keep producing. Warren Buffett's genius was not endless activity. It was extraordinary selectivity. Find quality, understand it, buy it, hold it, add when the thesis remains intact. Then let time and mathematics do what emotion keeps interrupting. That is true in markets. And it is true in life. If you already found something that keeps appreciating, why are you constantly trying to replace it? If your faith has carried you through every storm, why are you looking everywhere except prayer? If a person has shown up for you for years, why are you chasing validation from people who barely know you? If a discipline works, why abandon it because something new is louder? We confuse motion with progress. They are not the same. Rule 1. Find quality, trust but verify, then commit. That applies to investments, people, principles, faith, work, health, your circle, your mission. Do the due diligence first. Then stop behaving like every new headline invalidates the thesis. Conviction without research is recklessness. Research without conviction is paralysis. You need both. Study enough to know why you believe what you believe. Then act like you believe it. If you know the majority is wrong, speak. Going with traffic is easy. Moving with the crowd is easy. Being the gray man is easy when your values are not being compromised. But what happens when they are? When everyone in the room knows something is wrong, but nobody wants to be the first one to say it? That is how systems rot. Silence becomes permission. Permission becomes culture. Culture becomes policy. Then everybody looks around years later asking, how did we get here? One compromise at a time. You know right and wrong, maybe not every detail, maybe not every edge case, but you know when you are betraying yourself, and you feel it. Your conscience knows. That is the signal. Do not abandon your morals to stay comfortable inside somebody else's system. No amount of good deeds cancels the moment you knowingly surrender what you know is right. At some point, you have to stop. Now, never again. When they all go left, go right. Not because opposite automatically means correct. That would be just another form of mindlessness. Go right because you did the work, because you examined the terrain, because your conscience is clear, because the evidence points there, because the path aligns with your faith. Then commit, 180 degrees if necessary. No endless explaining, no begging the crowd for permission, no requiring everyone else to understand. If you have to justify your convictions every 5 minutes, they were never convictions. They were negotiations. That is leverage. Leverage is not just financial. Leverage is anything that multiplies the effect of a good decision, time, discipline, reputation, skill, faith, relationships, compounding. One right decision repeated long enough becomes enormous. One wrong compromise repeated long enough does too. That is why direction matters more than speed. A fast-moving person on the wrong road is just getting lost more efficiently. Slow down, check the compass, then move with conviction. That is return on investment. That is how you reach the sun. Nothing worth doing is easy. We say this constantly. Then act shocked when the difficult thing is difficult. Getting to heaven is not easy. Building a company is not easy. Leaving the relationship that destroys your peace is not easy. Starting over is not easy. Being right early is not easy. Speaking when everyone else is silent is not easy. Doing what is right when doing what is easy would cost less. Definitely not easy. But difficulty is not evidence that you are on the wrong path. Sometimes it is simply the price of admission. We ask, why me? Why not me? Why is this taking so long? Better question, how many actual steps have I taken? Because wishing for the path and walking the path are not the same thing. You never arrive. This is where selection matters. People think becoming elite is a finish line. It is not. Passing selection is not the end. It is an invitation to the qualification course. Pass that, and congratulations. Now you are the new guy. Nobody cares what you did before. You prove yourself again, then again, then again. You never get there. There is no permanent version of you that cannot decay. No permanent level of fitness. No permanent discipline. No permanent faith. No permanent marriage. No permanent reputation. No permanent leadership. All of it requires maintenance. Selection is ongoing. Life keeps asking, who are you today? Not who were you 20 years ago. Not what did you accomplish last year. Today, what are you choosing now? People want to be the 1%. Then they follow the 99. They want extraordinary outcomes using ordinary conviction. They want independence while asking permission. They want freedom while following everybody else's map. They want to build something exceptional while benchmarking against mediocrity. We all know this does not work. And still, people spend decades doing it. They stay in jobs they hate because the unknown feels scarier. Stay in relationships that destroy them because familiar pain feels safer than uncertain freedom. Stay in towns they have outgrown. Keep accepting beliefs they stopped believing years ago. Then complain that nothing changes. Of course nothing changes. They keep choosing the same thing. Comfortable misery has an incredible retention rate. Faith is stepping outside it. not because success is guaranteed. Because you finally accept that staying where you are guarantees something too. More of the same. Conviction has a social cost. The moment you step outside consensus, people notice. Friends may question you. Family may worry. Your community may judge. Some may call you a failure before the process even begins, sometimes because they care. Listen to that. Sometimes because your decision forces them to confront something inside themselves. If you do what they said could not be done and succeed, your existence becomes uncomfortable evidence. Because now they have to look in the mirror. Maybe the boss was not the only problem. Maybe the circumstances were not impossible. Maybe the chains were not welded shut. Maybe they helped maintain them. That is the shadow. Nobody enjoys being introduced to their own. Do not make them your enemy because of it, but do not let their fear become your compass either. The matrix programs its own chains. Some chains are external, very real. But some are programmed internally. I can't. I'm too old. I don't have the money. People like me don't do that, and my family won't understand. What if I fail? What will they say? The matrix does not always need guards. Eventually, the prisoner learns to guard himself. Day 11 asked, "What is your beach?" Today asked, "What is keeping you from going right?" Really. Not the polished answer, the truth. Fear, approval, comfort, money, identity. The possibility that if you try and fail, the excuse disappears. Observe it, then decide whether it deserves control. Faith is contrarian by nature. Faith often looks irrational from outside. Not because it requires abandoning reason, because it asks you to move before certainty arrives. That is deeply uncomfortable in a world obsessed with guarantees. Faith is not, "I know exactly what happens next." Faith is, "I know who walks with me when I cannot see what happens next." God created the universe. You believe that? Then ask yourself honestly, do you believe he can carry you through a career change, a financial problem, a move, a loss, a season where everyone else doubts you? We make God infinite on Sunday and strangely limited by Monday morning. Either trust the source or do not. But stop pretending the universe is in his hands while behaving like everything falls apart if your plan changes. Due diligence, conviction, faith. These three belong together. Due diligence asks, "Is this true?" Conviction says, "Then I will act accordingly." Faith says, "I will continue even when I cannot see the full outcome." Remove due diligence and conviction becomes foolishness. Remove conviction and due diligence becomes intellectual entertainment. Remove faith and the first period of uncertainty sends you running back to consensus. Together, they create something rare. A person who can stand alone without needing to believe they are alone. The crowd is not the enemy. Do not turn contrarianism into arrogance. The goal is not to hate the crowd. The goal is not to automatically reject consensus. The goal is to stop outsourcing your conscience to it. Sometimes the crowd is right. Sometimes the protocol exists because people learn something the hard way. Sometimes the rule protects you. Sometimes the person challenging you sees something you do not. Trust, but verify. Truth has nothing to fear from examination, so examine. And once examined, move, head up. There comes a point where analysis is over. You know the relationship is destroying you. You know the job is killing your spirit. You know you are supposed to build something. You know you should make the phone call. You know you should pray. You know you need to stop drinking. You know you need to start training. You know you need to tell the truth. You know which direction is right. Now comes the part nobody can do for you. Stand up and head up. Shoulders square, walk, not angrily, not recklessly, not because everyone else is stupid. Because you finally stopped negotiating against yourself. And if the crowd is in the way, navigate through it. Calmly, deliberately, without asking permission to pursue the life you know you are supposed to build. Day 12. The message. Consensus has gravity. You will feel the pull. Everyone does. The question is whether you notice it before it determines your direction. Markets teach us that crowds can become euphoric and terrified at exactly the wrong times. Life does the same thing. People chase what is new, abandon what compounds, talk themselves out of what they know, stay silent when they should speak, stay comfortable when they should move, then wonder why they never became the person they imagined. You want a different outcome? Make different decisions, find quality, verify it, commit. Stop chasing novelty for its own sake. Stop trading your values for social comfort. Stop asking the 99% for instructions on becoming the 1%. Stop expecting extraordinary results from ordinary conviction. And stop calling the prison safety simply because everyone else chose the same cell. 30 days for the rest of your life. Day 1, gratitude. Notice what remains. Day 2, just like you. You are not uniquely broken. Day 3, dogs. Notice who needs you. Day 4, who's there when the music stops. Notice who stands in the rain. Day 5, mistake. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you you're okay. Day 6, sit with it. Stop running from what you already know. Day 7, just breathe. Get to the next breath. Day 8, superposition. Observe the whole person. Then choose who drives. Day 9, the called walk through fire. Stay on the path through the fire. Day 10, rest is best. Learn when not to move. Day 11, the beach. Remember where you feel like you. Day 12, go right. Stop outsourcing your direction to the crowd. You do not need everybody to agree. You need due diligence, conviction, faith, and the courage to take the next step. Then another. Selection never ends. Neither does growth. You prove your character every day by what you choose when nobody is grading you. People want to be elite. Very few want the loneliness that sometimes comes with refusing mediocrity. People want freedom. Very few want the uncertainty required to leave comfortable misery. People want faith. Very few want to walk before they can see around the bend. But that is the deal. Nothing worth doing is easy. We already knew that. Now act like it. When the world goes left, look right. Check the terrain. Check your conscience. Check the fundamentals. Pray. Then if right is still right, go right. No panic, no apology, no need for applause. The crowd is not your compass. Your fear is not your compass. Your past is not your compass. Truth, conscience, faith, those are the compass. And when you know what is required for your happiness, your purpose, and your integrity, the crowd becomes exactly what it always was. Something to navigate, not something to follow. Head up, shoulders square, walk ICT. The real war is within. Ideas are bulletproof.